Good evening. I'm happy to be here with you this evening through the magic of technology. It has been my honor to collaborate with the JPS Africa leadership team these past few months on a review of their first decade of independence. The report on this review, 10 Years On, JPS Africa's Rise as South Africa's Go-To Partner for Medical Male Circumcision Services, tells the story of their roller coaster ride over the past decade and how they met challenges with innovative solutions, how their present work has evolved out of those solutions, and glimpses their preparations for the uncertain future. A substantial section of this report is devoted to success stories written by and about JPS Africa employees. This report was based on a desk review of key documents and recordings, and from qualitative data generated this past summer through face-to-face interviews and focus group discussions with JPS Africa's employees and many partners, including many of you in this room this evening. JPS Africa advisor, Mr. Bennett Asia, conducted most of the interviews and focus group discussions and identified key themes for the analyses. In this brief pre-recorded presentation, I share with you my personal list of the top 10 things I learned in writing this report that I think you should know about JPS Africa's first decade of independence. Of course, there are more than 10 things you should know, and if you know JPS Africa well enough to be here celebrating with them this evening, I doubt any of these 10 things will surprise you. I hope, however, hearing this list will whet your appetite for reading through the report when you go home, and you will keep it on your shelf for future reference. So here is my list. Number 1, JPS Africa is still here. Not only that, they have made a substantial impact on the lives of men and women in South Africa through their training and direct service delivery programs. The new kid on the block survived and thrived through the focused determination of their leadership team, willing to move quickly and even disrupt the status quo with new ways of working in the MMC space when they believe action is called for. Always they follow their internal mandate to do the right thing. 2. JPS Africa is first and foremost a learning organization. This applies to their core work of education and training, but also to their culture of continuous improvement, always looking for ways to make the way they do their work more effective and more efficient. The need for cross-functionality across their operations units requires everyone in the education and training, logistics, finance, human resources, M&E, and strategic information units to understand the work of all the other units. And they give staff the opportunity to learn what they need to know to do their jobs effectively. 3. Closely aligned with being a learning organization is their diligence in the collection and use of training and service data and data from operations and administration, integrated through their relatively new Strategic Information Unit that makes the use of these data accessible for decision making. 4. JPS Africa embraces new technologies. Service and training data collection is possible in real time through the use of tablets using a client registration app. Also, more and more administrative and operations data are collected, stored, and analyzed using cloud-based platforms. Online data capture reduces costs of paper and document transportation. Digital technology also makes possible their learning management systems, which resulted in the introduction of micro-learning, the delivery of bite-sized lessons that can be absorbed more effectively in shorter, more frequent doses at the convenience of the trainee. 5. Attention to good governance pays off. Zero tolerance for regulatory non-compliance and straightforward discussions of business ethics within the organization result in their culture of accountability. JPS Africa has had clean audits each of the past 10 years. In 2024, they were the first MPO to hire a law firm to audit them against the King 4 principles defining good MPO governance in South Africa, with a finding of satisfactory compliance. Also in 2024, An internal audit unit was formed to ensure their continued adherence to government policy. 6. JPS Africa learns from challenging conditions and situations and finds opportunities for strengthening their business processes. Their hybrid model was created in just this way, as a vehicle for increasing financial stability, addressing the monetary risks inherent in seasonal variations in MMC demand and/or in unexpected contract terminations. Implementing partners, or IPs, are hired to deliver MMC services on an as-needed fee-for-service basis rather than keeping them on staff when demand is low. JPS Africa's current business model, with the trainee at the center, has evolved around this hybrid model. These IPs report satisfaction with the hybrid model and the significant service delivery support they receive from JPS Africa. 7. The COVID-19 pandemic also presented JPS Africa with an opportunity for innovative leadership, meeting the challenge of a shutdown in services with the creative solution of reprogramming money to support the government's COVID-19 related infection prevention and control training. Nearly 800 people were trained, primarily using curricula adapted for online courses. This quick shift to new ways of doing work became known as the COVID-19 leadership mindset, and this mindset continues to influence business processes of JPS Africa today. 8. JPS Africa's ability to find ways to decrease operations costs has resulted in budget surpluses since 2021. These surpluses allow JPS Africa to make mission-related investments in new technologies and equipment. For example, in 2024, when some clinic sites became unavailable for use, they were able to purchase their own mobile unit to provide mobile services in the same catchment area, making it possible to achieve or even exceed their target goals. The mobile unit remains in their possession after the project is complete, available for use in other places. 9. Collaborative partnerships are key to the success of JPS Africa. In addition to implementing partners delivering MMC services, they rely on partnerships with community organizations, with national and provincial level government officials, and with commercial concerns who provide expertise as needed, thus leveraging their core education and training skills, exponentially increasing their value to others. 10. Last, but certainly not least, JPS Africa takes care of people. The people they provide services to, the people who provide those services, and especially their employees. They maintain high-quality clinical standards to ensure the safety of their clinical clients, and they use all their resources to ensure the people they employ are fully engaged, working to their full potential, and have access to the coaching and mentoring they need. They use the same training platforms for employees, such as micro-learning, as for clinical trainees, and address employee health and well-being through various programs. So there you go. With all of this amazing success during their first decade, we can only expect continued greatness in the next 10 years. Congratulations, JPS Africa, and best wishes for what comes next. Thank you, and good evening.